I hope you're doing well. Welcome to News Pulse. When tensions between the United States and Iran first began rising, the Strait of Hormuz wasn't really the central issue. At that time, the focus was mainly on regime pressure, where the US and Israel wanted to weaken Iran's leadership and reduce its influence. But today, the situation has completely shifted. Now, the entire global focus is on the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow but extremely critical oil route. In fact, tensions have escalated so much that the US and Iran seem to be standing face-to-face over control of this region, raising fears of a major conflict. Recently, a statement surfaced claiming that the US would block the already blocked Strait of Hormuz. This has confused many people. How can the US block something that Iran has already blocked? Let's break it down. First, Iran has not officially declared a full closure of the strait. Instead, what Iran has done is create a high-risk environment. Naval mines have reportedly been deployed. Fast attack boats using swarm tactics are active. Coastal anti-ship missile systems are in position. Surveillance drones are monitoring movement. The result? Even without an official closure, commercial ships feel unsafe passing through without Iran's approval. This is called denial control. Iran doesn't need full control, it just needs to make the route dangerous enough that others hesitate. Now comes the big question. What is the US strategy here? The US is not trying to simply close the strait. Instead, it wants to shift control from Iran's influence to American control. Earlier, Iran had the power to decide which ships could pass safely. Now, the US aims to replace that with its own selective control using warships, fighter jets, and naval presence. But there's another major objective: economic warfare. Iran's economy heavily depends on oil exports, especially to countries like China. Even under sanctions, Iran uses shadow fleet tankers, ship-to-ship oil transfers, alternative shipping routes. The US strategy is simple. Disrupt Iran's oil exports. White right pointing backhand index block ships going to and from Iranian ports. White right pointing backhand index cut off revenue. If this happens, Iran's government revenue could collapse. That would directly impact its ability to fund military operations and maintain economic stability. This is very similar to what we saw during the Russia-Ukraine war, when the US tried to limit Russia's oil income. There was even pressure on countries like India to reduce purchases, because buying oil indirectly supported Russia's war efforts. The same logic is now being applied here. Final thought. This situation is no longer just about military power, it's about who controls global trade routes and economic lifelines. And the Strait of Hormuz has now become the center of that battle. What do you think? Give comments. I'm waiting. Love you all.